हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द टेक्नो विज़ार्ड। मैं आज आपके साथ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वीडियो लेके आई हूँ जिसमें मैं आपके साथ एसएससी जेई के प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर डिस्कस करने वाली हूँ ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रिकल ब्रांच। दिस पेपर हेल्ड ऑन 24th of January 2018. This is part 1 in which I'll be discussing from the question number 1 to the question number 20. Other parts will also come soon, so stay connected and follow us on Facebook, Telegram, Instagram and the YouTube channel for the latest job notification and other important updates. So let's begin. This is the first question. Which of the following material does not allow the current to flow in it? So we know that the conductor in the conductor, the valence band and the conduction band are overlapping, and also the free electrons are available in the conductor. So conductor, there is conduction of electricity, that's why we called it as a conductor. Okay, so it conducts electricity or the electrons. But insulator is the right answer for this question, because in the insulator the valence band and the conduction band are very far apart from each other, and the electrons are not able to jump from the valence band to the conduction band. That's why there is no conduction or there is no current in the insulator. Okay, so now next question is, how much power in the watt will be dissipated by a 5 ohm resistor in which the value of the current is 2 ampere? So we know that power is given by the relation I square into our power is, we have to calculate current flowing is 2 ampere, so this will be equal to 2 square into 5, so this will be equal to 4 into 5 is simply 20 watts. So third option is the right answer. Next question is, which property of an electrical conductor opposes a change in the current? So it is not the resistance, because resistance opposes the flow of current, but the inductor or the inductance opposes the change in the current, because we know that if we have to change the current suddenly, we require the infinite voltage, because we know that the voltage across the inductor is given by L di by dt. And if we have to suddenly change the current, it means the change in the current is finite, but we have to change it suddenly, it means t is tending to 0, so it means the voltage across the inductor will tend to infinity, which is impractical. Okay, so inductor opposes the sudden change in the current, whereas the capacitor or the capacitance opposes the sudden change in the voltage. Okay, so for this question, option D or D is the right answer, which is inductance. Now next question is, what is the resistivity in the ohm meter of a 2 ohm cylindrical wire when the length and the diameter of the wires are the 10 meter and 0.4 meter respectively? So we know that the resistance formula is given by R is equal to rho L by A. Resistance is given, we have to calculate rho, and also we know that area is given by the relation pi d square by 4. Okay, of a cylindrical wire. So let us substitute the value. Length is given, which is equal to 10 meter, and area is pi, diameter is 0.4 square by 4. So let us simplify this. So this will be equal to 2 is equal to rho into 10 into 4 by pi into 0.4 square. So after simplification, we are getting the value of rho as 0.02512 ohm meter. So option A is the right answer. Next question is, farad is the SI unit of. So farad is the SI unit of capacitance. So inductance unit is Henry. So next question is, what is the equivalent capacitance in the microfarad for the circuit given below? So this is the circuit. So we know that when the two capacitors are connected in parallel, we have to solve. So suppose if the two capacitors are connected in series, so the C equivalent will be given by the relation C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. But if the two capacitors are connected in parallel, then the C equivalent will be given by C1 plus C2. So remember this. So we'll be using this concept. So now C1 and C2, they are connected in series, so its C equivalent will be equal to, so this will be equal to 20 into 30 by 50, so this will be equal to 12 microfarad. Okay, so this will be equal to 12 microfarad. So now this 12 microfarad is connected in parallel with the 20 microfarad, so this will be equal to 12 plus 20, so this will become 32 microfarad. So this is 32 microfarad which is connected in series with 10 microfarad, and this is also 10 microfarad. So all the three capacitors are connected in parallel, so 10 microfarad in parallel with 10 will give us 5 microfarad. So when we solve them, we will get 5 microfarad. So this 5 microfarad and 32 microfarad, they are connected in series. So after the simplification, we will get 4.32 microfarad as the answer. Okay, so option B is the right answer. Now next question is, what will be the resistance in ohm of a lamp rated at the 220 volt and the 200 watt? So we know that power is given by the relation V square by R. We have to calculate the value of resistance, which is equal to V square by P. Voltage is given as 220 and power is given as 200. So this will be equal to, so we are getting the value of resistance as 242 ohm. So option D is the right answer. Next question is, what will be the equivalent resistance in ohm for the circuit given below? So now we have to find out the R equivalent from here. So see here, this R8 and R9, they both are connected in series, and in the series we add the resistances. So this will be equal to 4 plus 2 is 6. Then this 6 will be connected in parallel with this R10, which is 8 ohm. So after the simplification we will get, so this 6 ohm is connected in parallel with 8. So simplify this, this will be equal to 6 into 8 by 14. So this will be equal to 3 by 7. So this is 24 by 7. So now this 24 by 7 is connected in series with R7. So this will be equal to 24 by 7 plus 10. So this is equal to 24 plus 70 by 7, which is equal to 94 by 7. Now this 94 by 7 is connected in parallel with this 6 ohm. So this 94 by 7 is connected in parallel with 6. So this 94 by 7 is 13.43. Okay, so this will be equal to 13.43 into 6 by 19.43, which is equal to 4.15. So now this 4.15 is connected in series with the 8 ohm. So this will be equal to 4.15 plus 8, which is equal to 12.15. Now this 12.15 is connected in parallel with 6 ohm. So this is equal to 12.15 into 6 divided by 18.15, which is equal to 4.02, which is connected in series with this 2 ohm, which is 6.02. So this 6.02, this is connected in parallel with 6. So this 6.02 is nearly equal to 6 ohm. So it means 6 is connected in parallel with 6, which is equal to 3 ohm, which is connected in series with the 4 ohm. So total, or we are getting 7 ohm as the answer. So option B is the right answer. You have to be little bit careful while doing the calculations. Okay. So now next question is, the two wires of the same resistivity have the equal length. The cross-sectional area of the first wire is 2 times to the area of the other. What will be the resistance in ohm of the wire that has a larger cross-sectional area if the resistance of the other wire is 20 ohm? So in the question, both the wires are having the same resistivity. It means rho 1 is equal to rho 2. Also they have equal length, it means L1 is equal to L2. The cross sectional area of the first wire is 2 times to the other, and we have to find out the resistance of the wire which has the larger cross section area. It means we have to calculate the R1, and R2 is given, which is 20 ohm. So we know that the relation R is equal to rho L by A. So simply R1 by R2 will be equal to rho 1 L1 by A1 into A2 by rho 2 L2. So substitute the value. R1 we have to find out, R2 is 20, rho 1 and rho 2 are equal, so they will get cancelled out. Also L1 and L2 are equal. A2 is will remain as it is. A1 is 2 times of A2, so from here we are getting the value of R1 as 10 ohm. So option D is the right answer. Now next question is, which of the following statement is correct? Norton theorem is same as the superposition theorem. This is wrong. Norton theorem is the converse of the Thevenin theorem because they both are duality of each other. Okay, dual of each other. Because we know that the Norton theorem is represented like this. Here we have a current source which is connected in parallel with the Norton resistance. So this is Norton current source IN, and which is connected in parallel with the Norton resistance. But in the Thevenin theorem we convert the entire network into a Thevenin resistance which is connected in series with a Thevenin voltage. So now if we apply the source transformation, we get this result only. Okay, so it means after the source transformation, Rn will be equal to Rth, which is equal to Vth by In. So that's why the Thevenin and the Norton, they are dual of each other. So option D is the right answer. Now next question is, the algebraic sum of the electric current meeting at a common point is always zero according to the KCL, that is Kirchhoff current law, which is based on the law of conservation of charge. Okay, so KCL is based on the law of conservation of charge. Okay, so next question is, which of the following law is based on the law of conservation of energy? So KVL. And next question is, what is the value of the current I4 in ampere for the given junction? So according to the KCL, we know that the sum of all the current meeting at a point or a junction is zero. It means sum of all the incoming current will be equal to sum of all the outgoing currents. Okay, so let us find out the incoming current and outgoing current at this node. So at this node the incoming current is I2, I4 and I6. So this will be equal to I2 plus I4 plus I6, and remaining currents are outgoing currents, so this will be equal to I1 plus I3 plus I5. So let us substitute the value. I2 value is 2. We have to calculate the value of I4 plus I6 is 7. I1 value is 4 plus 3 plus 8. So this will be equal to I4 plus 9 is equal to 15. So from here we are getting the value of I4 as 6 ampere. So option C is the right answer. Next question is, what is the value of the Norton resistance in ohm between the terminal A and B for the given Norton equivalent circuit? So now we have to find out the Norton resistance. So whenever we have to calculate the Norton resistance or the equivalent resistance, we remove all the independent sources. So the independent voltage source will be replaced by its internal resistance, which is 0. So the voltage source will become short circuit and the current source will become open circuit. So here we have only the voltage source, so it will be replaced by a short circuit. So we will left with, this is 4 ohm, this will become short circuit, this is 8 ohm. Okay, so here we will have 8 ohm resistance. So this is 8 ohm resistance, this is 4 ohm, and this is 2 ohm resistance. Across the terminal A and B, we have to calculate the value of the Norton resistance. So here Norton resistance will be equal to, so 4 and 8, they are connected in parallel and their combination is connected in series with the 2 ohm. So simplify this, this will be equal to 4 into 8 by 12 plus 2. So this is 8 by 3, which is equal to 2.66 plus 2, which is equal to 4.66 ohm, is the value of the Norton resistance. So option C is the right answer. Next question is, determine the value of the current in ampere through both the resistors of the given circuit. So see here, this 20 volt and the 10 ohm resistance, they both are connected in parallel, and in the parallel the voltage remains the same. So it means the voltage across this 10 ohm resistance will be 20 volt. So the current I1 will be nothing but voltage V by 10 ohm, so which is equal to 2 ampere. So we have obtained the value of I1. Now we can apply the KVL in this loop. So writing the KVL equation in this loop starts from here. So this will be equal to minus 20. Current is entering like this, so this will be positive and this will be minus. So this is equal to plus 20 into I2. Then minus 10 is equal to 0. So we are getting 20 I2 is equal to 30. So I2 value is 30 by 20, which is equal to 1.5 ampere. So option B is the right answer. Next question is, determine the value of the current I1 and the V1 in volt respectively for the circuit given below. So from here we are having a 1 ampere current source, and here we are having a 3 ampere current source. Both the currents are entering at the node X. So let us apply the KCL. Sum of incoming current, that is 1 plus 3, will be equal to outgoing current is I1. So I1 value is 4 ampere. So the current is flowing like this. So V1 value will be equal to 8 into I1. So this will be equal to 8 into 4 is 32 volt. So option A is the right answer. Next question is, what will be the value of the Thevenin voltage and the Thevenin resistance in ohm and the load current in ampere respectively across the load resistor in the given electrical circuit? So for this circuit we have to draw the Thevenin equivalent circuit. So let us first find out the value of the VTH. Okay, so VTH is nothing but the open circuit voltage. So we have to find out the voltage across this load resistor RL. So we will first remove this load. So our circuit will be like this. So here we will have a 100-volt battery. This is 20 ohm, and here we will have a 30 ohm resistor. This 10 ohm will remain as it is. So now we will open the load terminals and we have to find out the voltage across the load resistor. So this will be our VTH. So as this is open circuited, so here no current will flow, so VTH will be nothing but the voltage across this 30 ohm resistor. So we can easily find out by using the voltage division rule. So this VTH is nothing but the voltage across this 30 ohm resistance. So apply the voltage division rule. So this will be equal to total voltage into, we have to calculate the voltage across the 30 ohm resistance divided by sum of both. So we are getting the value of VTH as 60 volt. Next we have to calculate the value of RTH. So whenever we have to calculate the RTH, we have to deactivate the circuit. So this voltage source will be replaced by the short circuit. So in order to calculate the value of RTH, the voltage source will be replaced by the short circuit. So this will be like this is our circuit. So we have to calculate the RTH across the load terminal. So this is 10 ohm and this is 30 and this is 20. Okay, so this is 20 ohm and this is 30 ohm. So 20 ohm and 30 ohm, they are connected in parallel. So RTH will be equal to 20 is connected in parallel with 30, which is connected in series with a 10 ohm. So this is equal to 20 into 30 by 50 plus 10. So this will be equal to 10 plus this is 12. So we are getting the value of RTH as 22 ohm. Also we have to calculate the load current. So let us draw the Thevenin equivalent circuit. So this is RTH, which is equal to 22 ohm. This was VTH, we have obtained as 60 volt. Now this will be connected in series with the load resistor RL, which is equal to 5 ohm. We have to calculate the load current IL. So IL will be equal to VTH by RTH plus RL. So this will be equal to 22 by 5. So this is 60 by 27, which is equal to 2.22 ampere. So option C is the right answer. Okay, now next question is determine the value of the maximum power in watt transferred from the source to the load in the circuit given below. So we know that the maximum power is given by the relation VTH square divided by 4 times RTH. It means we have to simply find out the value of VTH and RTH. So this is our load resistor RL. So first calculate the value of the VTH. So in order to calculate the value of VTH, we have to open the load. So our circuit will be, here we are having a 20 volt source, this is 8 ohm, so this will become open circuit. So here we are having a 1 ohm resistor and this is 10 ampere current source. So here the voltage will be plus minus VTH. So let us apply the nodal analysis. So this is equal to VTH minus 20 by 8 plus this will be VTH by 1 minus 10 is equal to 0. So let us take the LCM as 8. So this is VTH minus 20 plus 8 VTH minus 80 is equal to 0. So this will be equal to 9 VTH is equal to 100. So we will obtain 9 VTH is equal to 100. So we are getting the value of VTH as 100 by 9 volt. Now let us obtain the value of now RTH. So in order to obtain the value of RTH, we have to deactivate the circuit. So the voltage source will be replaced by the short circuit. We have to calculate across RL, and here we were having the 1 ohm resistor and the current source will be open circuited. So it means the RTH value will be equal to 1 in parallel with 8. Both the resistors are connected in parallel, so this will be equal to 1 into 8 by 9. So we are getting the value of RTH as 8 by 9 ohm. So now let us apply the maximum power formula. So P max will be given by VTH square divided by 4 times RTH. So this will be equal to 100 by 9 into 100 by 9 divided by 4 into 8 by 9. So this will be equal to 100 by 9 into 100 by 9 into 9 by 32. So this will be equal to 34.72, which is nearly equal to 35 watt. Okay, so option D is the right answer. Next question is determine the Norton current in ampere and the Norton resistance in ohm respectively for the given electrical circuit across a load resistance RL. So for this circuit we have to develop the Norton equivalent circuit. We have to find out the Norton current. So the Norton current is nothing but the short circuit current. So it means we have to short the load resistance. So load resistance is this 2 ohm, so our circuit will be, this is 24 volt, 4 ohm, 8 ohm, and this is 5 ohm. This will become short circuit. So this is 5 ohm, 4 ohm, 8 ohm, and this is 24 volt. So here Norton current will flow, so we have to find out the value of this Norton current. So let us apply the nodal. Suppose the voltage at this node is V1, so let us apply the nodal. This will be equal to V1 minus 24 by 4 plus V1 by 8 plus V1 by 5 is equal to 0. Let us take the LCM as 40. So this will be equal to 10V1 minus 240 plus 5V1 plus 8V1 is equal to 0. So this will be equal to 23. V1 is equal to 240. So we are getting the value of V1 as 10.43 volt. Next we have to obtain the value of the Norton resistance. So similarly we have to deactivate the circuit, so this will become short circuited. Here we are having the resistances. You have to calculate the value of Rn. So this is 5 ohm and this was 4 and 8 ohm. So this is 4 ohm and this is 8 ohm, so they both are connected in parallel. So R of n is equal to 4 in parallel with 8, which is connected in series with the 5. So this is equal to 4 into 8 by 12 plus 5. So this is 5 plus 2.66. So we have obtained the value of Rn as 7.66 ohm. So we have obtained both the values. So option A is the right answer. So we have to calculate the Norton current. Okay, so now we have find out the value of V1. So Norton current will be nothing but V1 by 5, which is equal to 2.09. So option A is the right answer. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to the Techno Wizard YouTube channel.